September 2023, we received a tariff rate revision of approximately 1.2% for our Omalur-Salem project. We would also like to reiterate that with effect from 1st April 2023, tariff rate was revised by approximately 5% across the other four projects, that is Tumkur-Chitradurga, Jaipur-Devli, Pathankot-Amritsar and Talegaon-Amravati projects. As compared to the corresponding quarter of the previous year, we have observed a growth of around 10% in the toll revenue. The key contributors to the toll revenue growth are Tumkur-Chitradurga, Omalur-Salem and Jaipur-Devli projects. We have, however, observed some softening of traffic in Talegaon-Amravati and Pathankot-Amritsar projects. Considering the upcoming festivities and historical seasonal trend, we believe that the second half of the fiscal year would perform better as compared to the first half. The investment manager, on behalf of the trust, continues to evaluate potential investment opportunities. The net debt to value of assets of the trust is 0.1:1, providing sufficient debt capacity for acquiring new assets, and the trust continues to have AAA credit rating from two of the rating agencies, that is CARE and the India Ratings. I would now request Mr. Rishabh Gandhi to take you through the financial performance for the quarter and the year. Over to you, Rishabh.
Thank you, sir. I will now present the financial analysis for the quarter ended September 23 compared with the corresponding quarter of previous year, that is September 22. The total consolidated income for the quarter ended September 23 has improved to rupees 258 crores as compared to 203 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. The consolidated toll revenue for the quarter ended September 23 has improved to rupees 218 crores as compared to 198 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year, registering a growth of 10%. EBITDA for the quarter ended September 23 stood at rupees 214 crores as against rupees 163 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. Interest cost, which includes interest on premium deferment, for the quarter ended September 23 stood at rupees 68 crores as against 36 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. This is on account of the interest cost from the newly acquired Vadodara Team HAM project, which was acquired in October 22. Depreciation, which includes amortization of the assets, for the current quarter stood at rupees 56 crores as against 53 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. Profit after tax for the quarter ended September 23 stood at rupees 88 crores as against 73 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year. I will now request the moderator to open the session for Q&A.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from line of Dhawnit Savla from Savla Family Office. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Congratulations on a good set of numbers, and especially considering increase in our toll revenues for some projects. My question is mainly on the Talegaon-Amravati project. Any particular reason why we have seen a decline in revenue, or in fact decline in traffic movement on this road? And I also have a second question. This is with regards to the Pathankot-Amritsar project. Is there any concessions or something still receivable from the government pertaining to the closure due to the farmers' protest that happened last year, or all dues have been cleared from the government side? Thank you.
With respect to Talegaon Amravati, we have updated to the investor in the past also because of the ban of the heavy vehicle during daytime in the city. The vehicle are today taking a different route, and that's lower. Because of that, there is a lower traffic on our corridor. And with respect to Amritsar Pathankot, I think we have received part of claim and part is still pending. Roughly 40 to 45 crores is still pending to be received from the government.
Okay. Thank you very much and all the best for the coming quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shirish Waje from Moneylife Advisory Services. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. So my question primarily concerns the acquisitions that we have discussed in the past quarter. That from the sponsor we are looking at 3 HAM assets to be acquired. Just wanted to know if there is any update or progress on the same and the timeline in which we probably expect these acquisitions to be completed.
So I think when we talked last time, that time we have provided there are 3 assets from the sponsor, and those can be acquired over the period of 3 years. And out of the 3 assets, the first asset which will get completed in 6 to 8 months from now. Probably within the next 1 year, we can acquire at least 1 HAM asset from the sponsor. Apart from the assets from the sponsor, we are even evaluating the third-party asset. Once we'll reach to some kind of conclusion where we can put forward for unit holder for their approval, then definitely we will reach back to the unit holder.
Got it. Thank you, sir. And so these third-party assets that we're looking at, so are we do we have a preference towards toll BOT assets or HAM assets? Like going forward, would we have a preference to the any of these two?
Basically, both the assets have different risk metrics, and depending upon the whether it's a HAM asset, there the cost of equity is typically lower. Once one is looking to acquire HAM asset, typically the cost of equity will be lower. But if one is looking for the BOT asset, then typically the cost of equity will be higher. So depending upon the kind of project is available in the market, we are not averse for the BOT as well. But only prerequisite which we are looking at, that should not disturb the current payout to the unit holder. Either it should be break even or it should add to the current distribution.
Got it. Thank you, sir. I just have a last question. So in the past, like we have made some secured advances to the sponsor. So I think we had made an advance of 257 to the tune of 257 crore in FY22, and a few years, and in the prior years also we had made some advances. So I just wanted to understand the nature of these advances. Like, were these in the ongoing line of business or were these something else? And do you sort of expect similar sort of advances to be made in the future also? Thank you.
I think the year which you have mentioned, those years has a heavy major maintenance, and typically major maintenance bill gets raised on a quarterly basis or a monthly basis, and there the project manager has to do a deployment of machinery and manpower before start of the major maintenance. And as provided in the project management agreement, they can take a particular amount of advance, but those advances are secured, and secondly, that carries the interest. Typically, our cost of debt would have been in range of around 7.5 to 8.5%, but we are charging almost 10% interest to whatever the advance we are extending to the project manager.
Got it. Thank you, sir. I'll get back in the.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Satinder Singh Bedi from Eon Infotech Limited. Please go ahead.
Good evening and thanks for the opportunity. Mr. Menon, if you could give any update on the Tumkur Chitradurga arbitration. Is there any progress on that? if some light could be thrown on that, please.
Yeah, Tumkur-Chitraduga arbitration is in advanced stage now. There will be witness examination in the next month, and after that the arguments will take place. So most probably by the end of March or by June, this would conclude.
Right, sir. And what is the deferred premium at Tumkur-Chitraduga as of 30th September, and the total cash at trust level?
Just a moment, Rishabh will get back to you on this.
Meantime, we share the number with you. The contention of the NHI was not with regard to the total deferred premium. Their contention was for, I think, around 16 or 17 crore rupees only. So based on their calculation, we should have paid 17 crores additionally. And as of now, whatever the current deferred premium is there, that is as per the revised concession agreement signed with the NHI. Rishabh, you can share the number.
So the outstanding deferred premium obligation, including the interest thereon, is close to 600 crore as on 30th September. And the outstanding cash and bank balance is close to 240 crore, which will include DSRA of close to 115 to 120 crores.
Okay. And this also includes this distribution of 116 crores. That's the part of it.
That's correct.
Okay. So effectively about 10 crores is the balance cash.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
What is the exit rate of interest as of 30th of September as of now? So for the trust level debt?
It would be close to 8.7%.
About 8.7%. Okay. And all the hikes in the MCLR, okay, they are already baked in now. So in case the repo and MCLR doesn't change, then this should peak off here. Is that a correct understanding?
Yes, that's the correct understanding.
Okay. Thank you. I'll get back in the queue in case there are more questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Dheeraj Dave from Somvad Financial Services. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the opportunity. My first question is Chitraduga Tumkur project. Basically, we are expected to pay approximately 340 crore for deferred payment as per September last year valuation report. Okay. So if we pay 340 crore as a deferred payment kind of thing, then what is the kind of expectation? Would we be able to distribute 8 rupees for FY25? And also, what is your expectation for next 6 months? If you can give some guidance, that would be helpful.
Yes. So basically, the deferred premium, as I explained earlier, it is based on the revised concession agreement, and deferred premium also needs to be unwounded over the period of concession. So based on the concession agreement signed, we will be paying close to 250 crores kind of 250 crores of amount in FY25, and this year it's close to 200 crore rupees. So that includes both premium and deferred premium, and typically the major portion of the deferred premium we start paying by FY28 or 29. So based on the cash flow, that deferred premium will be paid, and that is as per the concession agreement. And based on the current collections, I think we should be able to continue 8 rupees payout to the unit holder. And based on the growth, whatever the growth will come, we'll try to improve the payout to the unit holder. But we can, our endeavor is to pay minimum 8 rupees in coming years as well.
Okay, just a second question to that. Basically, the valuation report is showing something like 341 crore, 341.7 crore for FY25 as a premium to NHI valuation report, append 1.5 table. So basically 341, and now we are talking something about 250 crore. So it's almost like 100 crore, because if you look at valuation report, the present value of cash flow becomes 29 crore negative. So that's why I'm asking this question. If you can just give some more clarity that because this is the main asset now for among all the assets. In fact, that contributes significantly to the cash flow. So that's why that question.
So I think if valuer would have factored some higher toll collection, then definitely based on the surplus coming from that particular toll collection, they would have factored some higher collection.
The revenue share of that is showing separately from FY38 onwards, so I am assuming that he has taken that kind of it. Anyway, so but basically the revised thing is that we should expect 250 crore of total outflow from Timco Chitradur. And with that we should be able to sufficiently give it to this distribution, other things remaining constant. Now, second question which I have is basically WPI is now almost near zero, probably may go in negative. So what is our cutoff date? Because April we will be having revision again for 5 of our 6 assets or whatever. I think majority of assets have revision in April. So what is your expectation of WPI or expected revision? Again, it will change, but which is the cutoff date and what is your expectation of next year's toll revision?
Yes. So with respect to the tariff revision, it's a 3% fixed plus 40% of WPI. And tariff revision happens from 1st of April for most of the projects except the MVR project. And the WPI which they considered is of December for 4 of projects, and MVR is based on the March WPI. And typically we expect around 1.5 to 2% kind of WPI in December. That will lead close to 4% kind of improvement tariff revision for 4 of project which is due from the 1st April 2024.
Okay, it is 3% fixed and 40% linked to WPI, basically.
Yeah, that's okay. And the last one is basically when with this diversion in Talegaon, Amravati is going to get over, because we understand that the metro work was getting kind of, and it's probably supposed to be complete by June or something. So any kind of, whether there has been delay or like what is the kind of, any update on those kind of, that's my last question, and thanks for your reply.
I think that diversion, what was imposed, is still continuing. We will definitely come with the more detailed update by the next quarter once we will be discussing the numbers with the investor.
Thanks a lot. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Raga Arora from Retail Investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Good evening, and congratulations on reporting a stable set of numbers, which is staying true to the stability that the InvIT offers. I'm a retail investor, and I had a couple of questions from academic standpoint. One is, based on your analysis, would adding new assets to the InvIT be a strong way to get the unit price closer to the book value that we have? That is question number one.
Okay.
And question number two is, I couldn't find this on the web, but if a retail investor wants to invest in the private InvIT, which was launched back in April, what would be the right way to go about it? Thank you so much.
So I think with respect to your question number one, definitely if you are adding a asset which can improve IRR of the InvIT, then definitely one can see the improvement in the price of the InvIT. That is the general phenomena. With respect to the second question, I think with regard to the private InvIT is the development platform, and there IRB owns 51% and GIC, Government of Singapore, owns 49%. And that was formed in February 2020. And from last 3.5 years, the private InvIT has not distributed any single amount. And probably this will be in September, yesterday's board meeting, they announced close to 157 crores of distribution. So I think GIC initially has invested roughly close to 4,000 crores and for 49% stake, and thereafter over the period of when asset got added, they have increased their investment value along with the IRB. So I think private InvIT, based on our assessment, is not the suited kind of vehicle for the retail investor. But as of now, there is no avenue also for the retail investor to buy the units of the private InvIT. Once private InvIT decides for go to public, then at that time, I think that will be the appropriate time the retail investor can basically buy the units of the private InvIT.
Got it. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your patience and the explanation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajan Kapadia, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
So I don't know exactly, but there is some provision that if we are getting less than 90% of toll revenues in previous years, there is some type of concession. So can this be applied in
I think you are referring at force majeure provisions of the concession agreement. There are force majeure provisions in the concession agreement. There are political event, direct and indirect political event. And under that provision, if the collection drops below 90%, then you are eligible for the compensation from the government. Under different mechanism, there are different kind of compensation available in the concession agreement. Just to share with you, during the farmer agitation, Pathankot was eligible for the compensation. They have got a cash compensation along with the extension in the concession agreement.
No. I am talking about.
Sorry for the interruption. Rajan Kapadia, your voice is very low. Rajan sir, you are not audible. Rajan sir.
I am talking that Talegaon Amravati project, will there be any kind of compensation or not?
Talegaon Amravati, this is not a force majeure kind of a thing. This 90% toll collection compensation is only when there is a force majeure event. So if it is not a force majeure event, we cannot claim for that under that provision.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Vinod Kumar Menon for closing comments.
Thank you very much to all the investors and analysts for having participated in today's call. And I hope that we would again have similar participation in the future calls. Thank you.
On behalf of IRB InvIT Fund, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.